tell me Black History Month is every month. So happy official Black History Awareness, I guess. It's a holiday. I'm just messing with y'all. Happy February. How are you doing during this first week of the month? How are you feeling? How are you doing? I have a question for you. Do you feel like January was the warm up? It's interesting. It's like the older I get, different like seasons, different cycles feel different to me. Am I the only one? Like I know years ago, just because I do a lot of personal development, I've been stopping that. So I don't really do that. Obviously, I know some people say it, so I use it in my vocabulary sometimes, but I don't really, oh, new year, new me. Like if I am a person, I will reinvent myself 1,000 times. Sometimes in a year, I don't know. I don't know who I'm gonna be tomorrow. As long as I'm going forward and upward, I'm okay to change like parts of myself that just aren't working. Okay, oh, it looks like we need to. Let me double check, make sure my internet is working. If you're watching live, definitely let me know. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. It's saying that my internet is not interneting right now. It may be fine. Today, we are going to be talking about shadow shadow burnout. We're going to be talking about shadow burnout and how to fix it. And I think this is important because, even though you may be like me, you may not be one of these people who are like, new year, new me, and we going hard. There's so many studies, that state, normally around January 15th, that's whenever people begin to lose motivation. That's when people begin to fall off of their commitments that they made for themselves in order to like no like level up themselves. I hope the internet is working right now. I'm gonna keep going. If I need to redo it, I may redo it. We'll see. But I really hope this is working because it's telling me that my internet is not good. So hold on, give me 1 sec. I just want to make sure because I did a really good live one time before, and I did a really good live, and then when I get on it, it was so blurry, and that it just really made me upset. I'm like, no, I worked so hard. So hold on, like if I need to, let's see, let's just see. I think it's working. I think it's working. I can't hear myself. Oh, okay, it is working. Okay, cool. I think it's working. I'm going to keep going. So, yeah, you may be like me and you may feel like, girl, if I know some people, they actually like they start their new year on their birthday. Some people like, what, I'm just fed up, let me just start. But I know like there are stats and studies, I want to say around January 13th through the 15th, that's when, they have found like people who set new year resolutions, they normally begin to backtrack, because they are building like first of all, it's like it takes about 3 months to get in a good groove and a good rhythm of anything. And so if you're just like on on December 31st, you're your old stuff, you're like, tomorrow I'm waking up and I'm doing it. There are those people, and there are certain things that you may be able to go cold turkey on, and shout out to you for that. But to do like a full like identity shift, unless like you are really in that place, most of us, we need to practice our way up to that. So today I do want to talk a little bit about shadow burnout and how to fix it. And it's February, so just be happy like we had a little bit of warm up to see like who we are. It's my nephew. You can come in, babe. Shut the door. Um, he wants to say hi.
Hey.
So the way my screen is set up, he can't see anybody. But if you're watching this live, even if you're watching the replay, type comments in the chat, and then I will go back and show him. So y'all don't leave my nephew hanging. He's gonna be a YouTuber. He's gonna be a famous, popular YouTuber, And so we got to get that started. What is your YouTube channel going to be about? Now it's going to be about Roblox. Okay, so we got some work to do. You want to stay here? Okay. Um, Yes. So this is to support people if you feel burnt out, if you feel, and y'all know I love my definition, so I will be breaking down like what does this stuff actually mean. And I really want to connect with you because the whole point of this live is for us to build systems and structures inside of our lives. So then that way we are not living in cycles. Like y'all know I've been in the word lately, and also I'm just really using my voice to just be present. And something that I have always felt in my spirit is that the reason why, I'm trying to make sense of this life, and I believe the reason why like we all are so unique and we all are together at a time like this is because we're in a game, so to speak. We're in this game of life, and we're all supposed to contribute to each other. We're all supposed to support each other. We're all supposed to be in community with each other to lift each other up, and then also like just contribute and to grow. Like we're supposed to change. We're supposed to evolve, and I think like that's what I believe life is about. So I want to talk about different topics in order to support you on your journey, because I know like I pay for a lot of personal development. I pay for to be in community with different people. And when I learn, first of all, when I meet people who think like me, who I can relate to, who I can have full blown conversations with, and I don't feel like the black sheep, or I don't feel judged for being my authentic self. It gives me space, it gives me confidence, it gives me belief that what I'm doing is right and good and it makes sense. Hold on. You coming back? Well, you got to keep this door shut, please. Thank you. It just keeps me going, and I believe it empowers me to be more myself. So part of me doing these lives are definitely a contribution for the things that I've learned, because and not to be like braggadocious, not to, but y'all, like when you learn, like I remember there's this club, and it's very local. It's called the Toastmasters Club, and I joined this club. Honestly, I joined the club because in my previous job, my last job, if you did different personal development things, it increased your chances of being promoted, honey. And I am about the monies, okay? And so I joined this club. It's a public speaking club. It's called Toastmasters. And I joined this club because I'm like, honey, I'm gonna be a better speaker. And then also like, it's gonna be good for, I'm gonna be a better speaker. That's all I knew when I signed up. And I joined this club, and it was mixed. There were even some civilians there. And I'm saying I'm outing myself, but like there were just different people from different backgrounds and everything. And I actually got invited to go to a like a conference in my last job, and it was it probably was it the first conference. It was like a little seminar workshop, but because I was a part of this club, I got invited to go to this conference. And so I went to this conference, and it was about public speaking, and I realized people got paid to talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, people can get paid to talk. Like I knew, I'm like, so people pay people because they know how to speak good, or they know how to make people feel good. It blew my mind. So I think I spent, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 days at the seminar or this conference, and I'm meeting all these people, and then like they're doing competitions, and I actually even met the international speaker, like people who were winning international conferences, and that blew my mind. I'm like, what? Like you're competing to be a better talker, like that. Even now, I'm remembering this. But the full circle moment last year when I went to Asia, I was in Asia. I did a world tour last year. I went to 3 different continents. Well, I guess 4 if you're counting North America, because I did go to Canada too. But I went to 3 different continents, and I was in Asia. And while I was in Asia, I lived there. Like I had an apartment. I was paying bills. So I lived in Asia. Okay. I lived in Thailand for some time, and then I lived in Vietnam. And while I was there, I met these other people and they were like, "Hey, have you ever heard of Toastmasters?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I used to be a part of this club." And they invited me to go to the Toastmasters club. And I'm like, "What? This is so crazy." And so I went to the club. I went a couple times and I just got to meet the international people who were part of this club that I did like 10 years ago. And so I'm just sharing this with you because I think that we all have gifts, we all have talents, we all have something that we are supposed to be supporting each other with and making the world a better place. But I think in return, it also makes us better people and we get to actually enjoy this life. I know I ain't gonna go there, but I know some people think like, oh, when we die, we gonna, there's gonna be heaven, and maybe that's true. And I also believe that we are meant to enjoy life now and have heaven in our life now. So however that means, but I just wanted to clear that up. Okay, let's get into it. So, this is for you. This is for you if you are feeling exhausted, but you are still performing, like you're still getting results. But let's define burnout. I'm going to talk about some definitions real quick. Y'all, I love to just break stuff down because a lot of times I realize we use words, but we don't have any connection or we don't even use the words correctly. And so, I'm just going to do a quick little vocabulary review for us. Okay, so burnout, a lot of people like say that in conversation, but what is burnout? Burnout is physical or mental collapse caused by overwork or stress. So who can relate to that? Like you have physical, like your body's tired, you're mentally drained because you feel so stressed or you feel overworked. If you can relate to that, you don't have to like put it in the comments. You don't have to out yourself, but at least acknowledge that for yourself. Like, dang, I am burnt out. Like I never really associated myself with the word, but I think I'm burnt out because I feel mentally or physically overworked and stressed. And y'all, especially here in America, the way we live over here is so different. So it is safe to say a majority of people are overworked and stressed. And I like to give other definitions into for burnout. Obviously, it's like a scientific word as well. So the reduction of fuel or substance to nothing through use or combustion. So imagine that. So we're talking about like burnout used for like a physical sense as far as human, but if you go to science, it talks about fuel or a substance. It's a reduction of fuel or a substance to nothing. Right? So when you talk about like a carbon burnout, right? I mean it's taking those fuels and it burns it out to nothing. That is alarming. Or the failure of an electrical device or component through overheating, for example, a motor burnout. So when we see that, oh snap, my car has a motor burnout, or when they talk about like, oh, the carbon causes, I'm sorry, we're trying to be more green. I don't know like all the words. Feel free to educate me. But the carbon causes, and when we talk about like, you want good carbon burnout and not, increasing the CO2 on the planet. I hope I'm saying that right. But like we have causes around that. We have like campaigns like, hey, we need to be mindful. Well, obviously, if your motor is burned out, you are very alarmed because it shifts your whole life when you don't have transportation, right? And so, if you have a motor burnout, you are very like, okay, let me fix this. Like, this is bad. Let me fix my car because my motor is burned out. Or, for the people who are really pushing like this green earth, like, we want good carbon burnout. Like they're spending billions of dollars in order to fix the carbon burnout. So my question is, why are we not stepping up and showing ourselves some love and making a cause and a campaign around human burnout, right? Because people are overworked and stressed. We're not enjoying our lives. And let me give you some more examples. I want to give you some more real, like tangible examples. So you may be burnt out if you feel like the following. I'm going to give you some examples. If you feel constantly exhausted, y'all know what exhaustion means. If you feel constantly exhausted, if you're being cynical, you do not need to be going around projecting on people and being right about being a pessimist. Like, why would you? I mean, I'm gonna go on a tangent about this one day, but keep your cynicism and keep your pessimism to yourself. Like, don't be going around projecting your cynical, negative Nancy. No negative Nancy's around me, because I will shut it down. No negative Nancy's from now until forever. Okay? Stop. What's the point of going and projecting negative attitudes, negative beliefs, negative mindsets to be right about a situation that you don't even have no control over? I digress. But okay, so you are burnt out. Okay, you're burnt out if you are exhausted, if you're being cynical, if you feel detached, if you feel unmotivated, even if you've been resting, you feel like you've been sleeping a lot, but you may be having physical symptoms like headaches or stomach issues. If you have a loss of enjoyment in hobbies and trouble focusing, it's funny because as I'm reading some of these side effects, it kind of sounds like, I wonder, and now maybe I'll do a little bit of research, or like, if you know this, put it in the comments and share with us. Like, I wonder if there's a huge link between burnout and depression. And I am not now, I do have a therapist and I do meet people because, honey, we got to manage all of this. Okay. I'm healing myself and I want professional help. So I'm not like a mental health like expert, but I really am curious, like, what is the link between depression and burnout? And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because a lot of things that I'm reading, I hear like it's publicly known, like it's linked to depression, but I wonder if they are mislabeling people, and maybe people are just burnt out and people just need to pause for a moment. We got to look into that. I'm really, that brings interest to me. Okay, so burnout is a state of prolonged stress leading to emotional, physical, or mental exhaustion, and it's more than just being tired. So, if you're burnt out, acknowledge that for yourself. You don't have to out yourself in the chat, but answer to yourself like, oh snap, I get to do some research. I get to go talk to a professional around this because I feel burnout. Now, what we're talking about in this particular live is shadow burnout, okay? Because I know there's a lot of people talking about burnout, so I feel like those resources are available. But when I was just doing my little research a couple nights ago, preparing for this live, I don't really hear people talking about shadow burnout. Okay. And so I really want to hit on this because I am very ambitious and I have a lot of, I work with ambitious clients. I have a lot of ambitious people in my circles, like my masterminds, my friends. Like, we're very ambitious people. We're driven. We are high performing. We are high achieving. And, it's sometimes people be like, oh yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing great. You're getting all these results. But sometimes, just because we're doing all these things, yeah, it's good. Like, oh, look what I created. But, Total Freedom, my business, Total Freedom Network, is all about having a whole life of total freedom, and being fulfilled and being having peace in every aspect of your life. So a lot of the work that I do with my clients is definitely more than getting them better results in their business. It's like, hey, how can we create harmony across your relationships, across your self-care? That's like my number one pillar, self-care across, your social life, and just every part of your life. Okay. So what is shadow burnout? Shadow burnout is when you're actually hitting your goals and your targets. You show up to every meeting and you are delivering on all of your commitments, but. So you're doing the thing. You look like you're thriving. You're doing the thing, but internally, on the inside, you feel depleted. So you're doing all the things. You look good outside, but inside, you still feel empty. You still feel depleted. This is shadow burnout. So you're performing, you're succeeding, but you feel like nothing. Like, you still feel like, okay, I'm doing all this stuff, but like you're not connecting. You're more, what is this, parallel? You're more parallel. Like, so you're doing all this stuff, but then like your personal fulfillment is lacking. Okay, so we want to There should be maybe I'm just making this up as I go, but it should be some type of connection to, like, definitely celebrating the wins. Like, it should be fulfilling in some way, because then we get bored and we're like, we're doing this for nothing, right? So your wins don't feel like a wins. You feel like you feel like you can see like all the things you're doing, but you don't feel excited about it, right? So you're just grinding through, you're waiting for the weekend, you're waiting for your next vacation. And that's something, like, another reason why, I'm like talking about different topics around, self-mastery and creating excellence in our life, raising our standards, is because I really hope to empower people to create lives that they enjoy, like create full lives. Like, it really just hit me, I did, and even for me, like, I actually believe it now. But I've always kind of like done what I wanted to do, but I still like saw myself going after the vacation, and needing to take a break away from my life. This is the first, like, since I got back from Asia, this is the first time where I'm really like, I mean, I'm shortly gonna travel, and of course, I have some travel plans for the year. Like, travel to me is not a thing. Like, travel to me is like, it's literally like it's part of my life. Like, it's normal for me to go somewhere every other month or every 3 months, and like, whether it's a big trip or just like 3 hours away, like, it's not really a thing for me. It's just, it's part of my DNA. I want to say it's like me, like food. Like, I'm gonna eat. Like, I'm gonna eat. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna travel. And of course, I have 3 trips already booked this year. That I have coming up. Actually, I probably got some more, but they just like they're not on the calendar. I have 3 on the calendar already. But my really, me really, putting myself out there more is really to empower people to not need a vacation apart from your life, but your vacation should definitely be in your life. You get what I'm saying? Like, I travel because I travel, like, I feel like us traveling and seeing in different parts of the world is it's normal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, me going, I'm trying to think of like some normal stuff. Like, okay, I started back working out officially today, but I feel so good. Like, this is going to be, and I was working out when I was in Asia, so it's not like that. It's just that, traveling, across international time zones. Literally, they're like, I think they're 12 to 14 hours ahead, depending on where you are. So it's already 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. where they are. And so yeah, my I'm gonna leave that for later. My intention is to really empower people to really create harmonious lives where you don't feel like you need to take a break. AKA, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and so, like, our work should be a part of our lives. Like, after me traveling for 6 months and just living my life, I was on a full sabbatical. I thought I was gonna work, honey. Being in that environment, I did not work. I did not pull out this laptop. I did not. I mean, a couple times we were like, "Hey, yeah, we're eating or whatever," but that was not work. Um, and so I really hope that you really focus on creating harmonious, activities, and really setting more boundaries, raising your standard, creating and doing what you want in your calendar, in your time slots, in your days. Okay. Um, this is a moment I want you to create a lifestyle in a moment where you breathe in your life. Okay. So, of course, now I got some stats. I got to bring the stats so y'all know I'm not making this stuff up. But these are some actually really scary stats. So I saw a stat that said 73% of high performing founders and executives are experiencing shadow burnout right now, according to December 2025 study of 127 California tech founders. So there was a study, and here's some more stats. 72% of entrepreneurs are struggling with mental health impacts, whether it is anxiety, burnout, or depression. 68% are actively hiding it from everyone, whether it's their investors, whether it's their team members, and even their families. 45% of them rate their current mental health as bad or very bad. That is insane. And I have such a sweet spot for entrepreneurs. Number one, We're the best. But entrepreneurship, I just feel like it is so divinely aligned with life, like what it takes in order to become an entrepreneur, like to actually shift into that identity and actually be even a successful entrepreneur. It's literally it just reflects like so many laws of life. And so we when we are rating our mental health, and I'm just saying because this is real stat for real people. 45% of people are rating their mental health as bad or very bad. That's scary because entrepreneurship is really the way forward. Like number one, it is the way forward in the society. Like, with I think, oh my gosh, there were like, I don't know, I don't remember the exact study or the exact statistic, but trillions of jobs between last year and this year, people are getting fired. Like these companies are hiring AI, they're hiring technology because it makes sense. It's more profitable for the business. And as a business owner, there's certain things. It's like, I get to make this decision to move the mission of this company, right? And so I really think it's actually empowering with what's happening in the world. I mean, I feel like yes, you can get a job and do your thing. And I think get a job in something that is going to amplify your strengths and your gifts. I think getting a job to be comfortable. See, every time I talk, I start remembering because I did my devotion this morning. It's like, okay, this is where this is for. But I really believe that we're all supposed to be using our gifts and our strengths for something that's bigger than us. And so if we're just hiding behind like, oh, I'm making enough money just to sustain myself, it's like I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you, but I'm just saying the word said that, it is meant to, yes, it's going to take care of us, but it's also meant for other people. You know what I mean? It's for the world. It's to give it back. It's to give it back. It's kind of like this thing that I heard, people who invest, whether they invest in themselves, people who invest financially, let me be specific. People who invest financially, especially in themselves, it's because they're not hoarding money, thinking that it's like it's theirs. They know that, if they invest in themselves and if they, educate themselves, if they bet on themselves, it is going to be a better return on investment than just hoarding money and putting it in the bank, because the bank ain't keeping that money. The bank is investing it for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's really sad to hear like entrepreneurs are dealing with like such high rates of mental health when these are the people who are moving the economy forward, is what I'm trying to say. Like they're creating businesses. They're like, I mean, I read in a book a few years ago how like small businesses and entrepreneurship, that is really why the economy is running. Of course, like they only, highlight the big companies and they only highlight, the government and stuff like that. But it is entrepreneurship that keeps the economy growing and economy moving, that, even hiring and stuff like that locally. Like, so yeah, we gotta fix this. We gotta support the cause, like as far as like entrepreneurship and mental health. And I know mental health month is coming up soon, so this is, I mean, I read this stuff before when I was gathering all this data, but as I'm speaking it out loud, I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is a problem. Okay. And for the people who actually even work, in companies or with bigger teams, 52% of them say that their work is negatively affecting their mental health. Okay. And so why? And so what? I mean, I'm going to ask this question, but I mean, I pretty much just gave the answer. Why are so many people hiding shadow burnout? Like, why are people afraid to say, you know what? I feel unmotivated right now, or I feel exhausted. I feel I'm being me. I'm showing up being me, even though I know it's not right. I know it's something in me, but I'm still going to project it mean on you. Why are people hiding like their real what they're going through, their feelings and emotion? And it's very simple. It's definitely because of societal implications. Because there's still such a huge stigma around mental health and business leadership, just in society, and admitting struggle feels like we're admitting weaknesses. Okay. And I saw another study. This is my last stat for right now. One study found that 58% of HR managers wouldn't hire executives with a depression diagnosis. And this is no shame. This is no shade to my HR people, or the way that structure is built up in bigger organization. Because at the end of the day, they're just doing their job. But I guess the point that I'm trying to lay out here is that all of this is driving shadow burnout. Like it's really hurting our people, right? Because we don't have the space and the freedom, or we don't feel like we have the space and the freedom to be honest about what we're going through because of the repercussions and the consequences. Okay. So yeah, so founders and people, entrepreneurs, they're suffering in silence. They think, I can't let anyone know that I'm struggling. And I'm going to pause there for 3 seconds and, really take a moment with yourself. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, even if, you may not feel, but in any capacity of your life, do you feel burnt out? Do you feel like you're exhausted? Do you feel like you're snapping at people? Answer that for yourself and be real and honest with yourself. We cannot move forward if we do not have the awareness to be real, right? So the point that I am trying to land in all of this is that you are not lazy. You may be burned out, but you're not lazy, especially if you're creating the results. Like if you're hitting your numbers, you're hitting your target, you're hitting your goals. You're not lazy. You may be burnt out. And there is a huge difference between burnt out and being lazy. So, like I said, it's February. It's like, oh my gosh, 2026. Hello. Hello, 2026. We only got 11 months, okay, of this year. And some people are saying, I've been hearing some people feel like this year's already slipping away, even though it just started. So before I go any further, let me ask you something real. Let me ask you this. How are you actually doing? And again, if you want to talk to me, hello, I will. I normally don't check comments, y'all. Like I don't have apps on my phone. I don't have social media apps just because, I get to be focused and, I want it doesn't matter. I don't have social media apps, but, I will like check the thread and, I just hired some team. I just hired a VA. And so my goal is to get her to start answering comments and stuff. And if there's something you can always text me. My number is 757-780-8585. Again, my number is 757-780-8585. If you want to talk to me about what we be talking about here on social media, or, wherever you may be seeing this video, you can always text me. But me having social media on my phone, it is a huge distraction, and I am not about being distracted. So you can definitely put it in the comments to support other people here in the community. And again, I hired a VA, and so she's going to be like starting to respond to y'all and everything. But let us know. And she's going to share the information with me. It's just that I physically may not respond, but if you do get a response, it's going to be something that I probably said. But how are you actually doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? And take a moment, get out the notes app in your phone and answer this for yourself, and don't be appropriate. Don't be appropriate. Don't be like, oh girl, I'm good, I'm fine. Like literally, like take a moment, answer to yourself, be in your body, be in your energy. Because this is not an official meeting, guys. But maybe it should be, but this is not an official meeting. This is just, it's us bringing awareness to what's happening with our self-leadership. That's what I'm about. Self-leadership in the world. But I am genuinely curious, and I'm like, dang, just text me. Like if you want me to know, definitely just text me. I feel bad. I'm like, I'm not gonna read your comments. And it's just that like social media, I need focus. And social media, it's like throwing, like when I open up an app, it's like reels and this and that, and I'm trying to get to the comment. Or even whenever I just go like look to find something specific, I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna take me 30 seconds. I already know what I need. Let me go and get it while I'm on my browser. Why am I like on there for 10 minutes? And I'm like, dang it. Like I was not trying to be over here. I need to get to this thing. So for me and my standard for myself right now, I just don't want to be lost in the sauce, and I can't be consuming all this stuff that are not in alignment with me. I know maybe I can just unfollow stuff. I don't have time for that. Okay. I don't have time for that. So I just deleted it off my app. But if you want to talk to me specifically or share this, I am so serious. You know, I want to know how you're actually doing. Are you keeping up? Are you keeping up with yourself? Are you keeping up with your intentions for 2026? Are you energized? Do you have energy? Do you have energy? I have so much energy, and I'm so grateful for my energy because, yeah, I'm so grateful for my energy. My nephew has a lot of energy. And I mean, sometimes it's like, babe, you at like a 25, honey. I'm only on 10. You at 25 right now. Okay. You keep your energy, boo. I try not to like dim his energy. I want him to always have his energy because I don't know if I should say why, because I don't want to offend anybody. But I don't like moving slow. And when people move slow around me, it freaks me out. I'm like, let's go. Like, we gotta move, honey. Let's move. Let's move. Like, why are we moving slow? We gotta go fast. And so I love my nephew with his energy, but sometimes I'm like, babe, I love your energy, but can you just do your energy over there? Like, you know what I mean? It's fine. Your energy is good. Keep up the energy. Please don't, lose your energy. Keep your energy up, babe, because I know my energy a lot, and just it's just that right now we at two different frequencies right now, but keep your energy, So are you energized? And there are things that I do to keep my energy up. Number one, and I think energy is important, and I definitely will be hitting on this over the next couple of weeks or so. But energy is so important. I mean, it's definitely, I feel like it's a strategy that a lot of people don't understand. But our energy it's like a code, I think, or it's like a secret key to get things that we want. When our energy is right, and you know this, when you're happy, when you're in good energy, you begin to like manifest, like you start to see and create the things that you actually want. And that's not a coincidence. It's literally because like our energy is definitely a strategy to the things that we want. And so I think energy is so important. So I will be harping more on energy as well. But how is your energy? Are you making progress on what truly matters to you? Or are you just checking all the boxes? Are you, being a martyr in your life? Are you putting yourself last and just putting everybody's priorities over you? Do you feel like you are running on fumes? Answer that for yourself, or you can text me, or you can put it in the comments and be real and call yourself out, because just because you're that today, that doesn't mean you got to choose that tomorrow or next week. You can always level up. And, I do find like whenever I, comment different things, in my communities and I'm like, oh, I said it. And so it's like the fact that I put it out there, it's known, whatever. And I can just be different. You know what I'm saying? Making awareness, calling it out. But I will say overall, if you answer to any of that stuff, you are not alone. It is not just you. I do see a massive wave. Of shadow burnout. So you're not the only one. You are not the only one. Okay. Let me just make sure everything's working. I have my notes in front of me, y'all. Okay. So here, and I am going to give y'all 5 steps to fix massive burnout. I'm going to give it to y'all really soon. There are a couple more things that I want to hit on. Here's the truth that most people won't tell you. It's not a motivation problem. You don't have a motivation problem. You have an execution structure problem. Okay. So structure is the framework that removes decision fatigue. Okay. And so structure, let me define structure for y'all. It's how priorities are defined. Its actions are sequenced. Accountability is assigned, and progress is measured. So you're not relying on memory. You're not relying on motivation or mood when you have structure. So structure is the answer to what matters now. Who owns this thing that needs to be done? How do we know if it is working? So that is structure. Okay, execution. Yeah, I know I love my words. So let me break it down for you. Execution is the consistent follow through of the right actions. And when Your motivation is low, you still execute. So execution is not effort, it's the ability to translate plans into results through repeatable systems, accountability, and feedback loops. Execution answers questions like, are we actually doing what moves the needle forward consistently? So motivation starts things, but structure actually sustains them. Ideas inspire, but execution delivers. I like that little quote. When you're relying on your willpower alone, no real accountability, no clear systems, no support, burnout is not a risk, it is inevitable. You will get burned out. And the reason why I believe that so many of us are have burnout or shadow burnout is because we have never been taught to actually, y'all know I'm gonna say it, how to manage ourselves. We don't have systems, we don't have schedules, we don't have routines. Like we really don't really know how to take care of ourselves. We're just doing things that we think everybody else is doing and things that we like that are keeping us comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But we don't actually, most people that I talk to do not have systems, routine. I mean, everybody has a routine, but an effective routine to actually move them forward to where they actually want to go. And so that's why burnout is happening, because people are relying on willpower and motivation fades. But when you have a system, a working system, an optimum system, systems work even when you don't feel like it. And I talked about this, I want to say last week or the week before. There's a research from the American Society of Training and Development, and they talked about specific accountability structures. You when you follow specific accountability structures, you have a 95% likelihood of achieving your goals. And without a specific accountability structure, your chance of hitting that goal or having that success, it drops to 10%. So just having like, oh yeah, this is my goal for the year. Yeah, this is my target. But you don't have a specific accountability structure, your chances of hitting the goal drops from 95% to 10%. I'm not just saying this, like that is a 9.5 times difference between being successful and being struggle. So if you are struggling right now, I hope every time you're like, ooh, every time you feel like, ooh, I'm struggling, hear me say, you hear me say that it's because you don't have a specific accountability structure in your life. You don't have a specific accountability structure in your life. You don't have a specific accountability structure in your life. That's why you were struggling at your 10% of getting your goal versus having a 95% chance of getting your goal of success. Okay? I hope that landed. Y'all, let's jump into it. Okay, so now I'm going to give you the 5-step framework. I probably should have put that in the title somewhere. Yeah, we're going to get this technology down one day. So right now I am about to give you 5-step framework to diagnose where you are and what needs to change. Where you are and what needs to change. And what I'm sharing you, this is not theory. This is things that I work through with my clients. But then also, like, obviously, y'all know I be studying and I be doing research, right? And so like a lot of this, I mean, it's like it's my refined version of things that have worked for me and things that I help people with. But there's probably a book on it, but you just haven't read the book. Okay, so I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing it to you, right? You're not you. I mean, or you YouTubing and you still not taking action. So I'm gonna tell you the things, but a lot of this is like internal work. You know, I actually just re-signed. Well, I just signed up for a mastermind, and this is the biggest investment that I've done for a specific product for myself. I mean, I've like stayed at the Ritz Carlton a couple times. I fly, you know, there's things, but to actually intentionally be like, hey, I am going to pay you to teach me this information and I'm going to bet on myself. Another level of another level of self-worth increase instantly, literally just by swiping the cards, like increase elevated. I mean, self-worth elevated, right? But I'm sharing this with you because in order to be more confident, in order for us to really be bold and to really to be, you know, our best selves, I feel like there's just certain things that others just, I mean, it's like we don't have to steal everything. I mean, we don't have to, not steal everything. I don't know why I said steal. We don't have to struggle in everything. You know, I actually heard somebody say, I can't remember, I think it was an old coach who said it. I can't remember who said it, but they were saying this is not the era to be in trial and error. That's funny. This is not the time in life or in this generation, in this century. We don't need to be doing no trial and error. There's so many people who have done the things, and we just need to tweak it and make it ours. But we don't need to just be failing and doing it hard. Like when we get into community, when we I know y'all may obviously y'all are being led by somebody. What is your favorite reality TV show? What are these people on social media? Whether it's a podcast you listen to, whether it's your, church, whatever. Like you're being led by somebody, but are they yielding? Okay, are they yielding the results that you want? If not, take the thing that's good from them and use it and borrow it. You can obviously give them credit for it when you talk about it. But it's really important that we don't try to do everything so hard or do everything on our own, right? If people have systems, I mean, and that's what I'm finding myself do. Like even now, like I just said, I knew I needed a virtual assistant, and I have a meeting with her today. It's because I'm buying my time back. Okay, me doing these tasks is not. It's not for the mission, and it's not for me. Okay. Anyways, here are the 5 steps. Here are the 5 steps to the shadow burnout diagnostic framework. So this is again really trying to. I'm talking about diagnosis, but also just bringing it to awareness because a lot of times there's things that we resist and avoid, and we don't really take time to be diligent in the inner work, what it requires in order to get to the next level. Like, the reason why we keep getting sent back to level one, or I feel like there are things that we're supposed to graduate in life. Like if there's a problem that always happen, it's because you haven't handled the problem. I feel like once we handle certain problems in our life, the source, the most high, God, whatever you call it, literally comes, the universe literally says, okay, boom, check, you got that. Now I'm gonna test you to see if you're gonna fall for it again. And if you pass, you don't ever have to worry about it again. I mean, I might still tease you, just to see how you're gonna do. But if you pass, then I'm gonna give you new problems that you can handle, because the problems are not a problem. The problems are literally just for us to grow. It's how we grow. It's how we become better. It's how we become stronger. And we have the proof like, hey, I can do this. I can do that. I can be this. I can be that, because I have the proof that before I used to fold on that. Like when I was put in situations, I would fail. I would collapse. You know what I'm saying? But now I know, like, you can put the cake in my face, honey. You can put the carrot in my face, and I'm not gonna budge because I'm stronger than that. But I only know because I fell so many times that I got tired of failing, and it don't even do nothing to me. Okay, so this 5-step framework that I'm about to share with you, this is called the Shadow Burnout Diagnostic Framework, and let's jump right into it. Step number 1: ask yourself the hard question. And I'm going to give you a couple of questions you can ask yourself, but also just use your brain. You're so smart, you're so intelligent. Ask your question, the questions that you need to be asked, right? So why am I this? Why do I allow this to this? Why am I feeling like this? And y'all, this is I've been doing a lot of devotion this year here in my in my book. I've been doing a lot of devotion this year, and it has been a time, honey. I'm trying my best not, and I might, if I have time, I actually need to keep it moving because I got another call here at 11. But we might actually get into, because it's so funny. Like I just be doing my day, and then something to what I'm saying, I can hear how it works out with what I read today, which was 1 Peter 4:1-11. But anyways, my point was, today was the first day of me journaling in 2026, and what a time. I thought that, I something just was like, girl, just write for like 2 minutes. Like, girl, just, you need to, because I haven't picked this book up since August of last year. This is my journal right now. And the last time I wrote was in Da Nang, Vietnam, and I did a little journal entry. But I wrote this morning, and I thought that I was only going to do like a little section. Y'all, I wrote for these 2 pages. in this little section. And it was so good. And I just was reminded, like, oh my gosh, I just had because I feel like I've been talking, but I know I've been talking a lot about business stuff, but really to just process, like, again, and I haven't journaled since August, like on my personal self, not anything for the business, not, talking to my clients, not, you know, mainly business stuff is where my brain goes, but to actually journal. And I have been talking to my bestie. I've been talking to my bestie, Miss Tiniana, and but I'm even then I feel like a lot of the stuff we're talking about is definitely like we do support each other like personally and like getting goals and stuff like that. But I feel like it's something and definitely spiritually. That's Thank you, girl. Thank you. But there's just something definitely about being honest, authentic, and allowing yourself to just comment and talk about things that just pop in your head, even if they're random. Like I did not expect to be writing this much this morning, but it was just such a relief. So I'm sharing that with you. Get a journal, and I my notes. I have hundreds of notes. I have hundreds of notes in my phone, and honestly, unless I really, really, really need something, I honestly don't go back and look at it. And sometimes I don't read my journal, but it's something about pen to paper that is magic. So as I go through these steps, I am going to give you some questions, but also allow yourself to ask your own self and to answer these questions because you know what you need to be asked and you know what you need to answer to. Okay. Trust your heart and trust your gut. Okay. So, step number one, ask yourself the hard question. Ask yourself, do I have a clear accountability structure for my top three goals? Whether it's this month, whether it's this year, ask yourself, do you have a clear accountability structure for your top three goals? Are you running on willpower or are you running on hope? So, this is question number one for the shadow burnout diagnostic framework. So this is pretty much just a framework to see um how much are you burnt out? Like do you have shadow burnout? And question number one, ask yourself hard questions and even use this technology, use AI to your advantage. Literally, I would do a prompt in one of these places, Chat GPT or Claude, somebody, Gemini, whoever, as as I would literally be like, you are my therapist or whoever, however you want to do it. You are my therapist, you are my coach, and I really want to work on this part of myself. What are some pretend that you're the coach and give me 10 questions or give me 5 questions, give me 3 questions that I can journal about to actually answer hard questions for myself so I can work through this problem. Okay? You can do that. Okay, so y'all know what? Y'all know I'm on this technology and I see people are commenting and I don't know how to see the comments. Oh my gosh. Y'all, so within the next couple of weeks, I will have all this set up because again, I'm going to have a meeting with my VA today. And so we're going to go over all this so I can actually talk to y'all. But I see people are commenting, but sorry, I don't know. But feel free to text me. I mean, or I will today. Like at some point, I will go in and I will look at this to see. I will go in and see today. I got you today because I'm being intentional. But yeah, I can't see your comments. I don't know why it's not popping up. Oh, hi Eva. I see it. I see it. Hi. Okay, let's get through these questions. Okay. So yeah, use this AI to ask yourself. But the question that I'm starting you off with, do you have a clear accountability structure for your top three goals? Yes or no? And why? What could and honestly, I'm saying top three goals, but honestly, what's your top one goal? Because that's what we need to be focusing on. Because most people can't handle three. I'm just getting my muscle up to be able to handle multiple goals. And I'm doing it in baby step. I have one goal and the other one, like, I'm just practicing those, but they ain't my focus. I'm like, I ain't really, I'm tracking it, but I'm not tracking. Like, I know like so today, I'm like, okay, girl, we about to do this morning, the 6 a.m. workout every single day. Okay. But I'm not like actually checking myself off every day. Cause when I'm serious about something, I'm literally checking myself off every day on a goal. So do you have step one, ask yourself the hard questions. Use the chat GPT, re-listen to this. Ask yourself, do I have a clear accountability structure for my top 3 goals or my top goal? Or am I running on willpower and hope? If you are answering that you're only running on willpower, then that's probably why you're burned out. That's why you're burned out, because your willpower is meant for like extreme. It's like only a little chemical in our body, and it's for like extreme situations. But we are literally living in stress that we don't even know that we're not in danger. I mean, maybe emotionally, maybe egotistically, but like we're not like there's no bear coming to eat us unless you outside, you know what I'm saying, and in the woods. But for the most part, ain't no bear coming. So it's like use your willpowers for stuff like that. Step 2, identify your execution gaps. Most high performing hold on. Most high performers fail because they're overloaded with ideas and they don't have a clear focus. They lack predictability and outcomes. They have too much chaos going on. They don't have structures around execution. They only focus on their effort and what they're doing, but they don't have any structure. They depend on willpower instead of systems, which is unsustainable. So where are your execution gaps? Why are you not being consistent? Why don't you have the stuff that you want? Like, why aren't you are powerful. Like you have, I talked about this before. We have partnership with the source, with the spirit, with the most high to actually create the things. Like we are responsible in creating or activating the things in order for the X factors to happen in our life. So what are the gaps in your life? Like what is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go? Like what's the problem? Answer that for yourself. And which one is you? Is it because you don't have any clear focus? Is it because you have too much chaos? Is it because you're only relying on your effort and you're trying so hard? Is it because you don't have any sustainable systems? Step 3, what are you hiding? Name the thing that you are hiding. What's the one thing that you're not telling anybody? And you don't have to tell me on this live. It's fine. But answer this for yourself. Get your notebook. And write it down. And you will be so surprised. It'll be like the floodgates. It'll be like just thought. Like I was just writing this morning. I said, man, I thought I said everything I had to say, but I said a little bit more up in here. And it felt good. I mean, instantly I was like, oh, I said it, and you have that. Like that, this is how we supposed to be using our freedom of speech. We ain't got to say everything out loud to everybody, right? Just say what you need to say here in your book, not in mine. Okay. So name the thing that you're hiding. What is the one thing you're not telling anyone? Are you exhausted? Do you feel like you don't know how to keep going at the pace that you're going? You have so much imbalance. And I'm not here to be pushing balance, but I'm 100% about harmony and alignment. Like you're going at a pace that you're like, man, hey, I'm on the last, but I'm going to go all the way to the end. That's unnecessary stress. Are you not telling people that you're afraid that if you slow down, then everything else will fall apart? And I'll be transparent with you. Literally, like the coach that I just hired, she had us doing a lot of, honestly, when I look back on it, she had us doing a lot of like, even just to onboard into her program. Like we couldn't even start her official training until we did this work on ourselves. And I got to do a little bit of prompting and a little bit of journaling. And one of my biggest fears, I realized, like, what if all this is for nothing? Like, what if I'm doing all this and what if, not that I fail, because I don't really have the fear of failure, but it was like, what if the fear that I won't keep the success or the rate that I'm going? I feel like that's why I've been playing small. And I said it because I'm like, girl, I don't even believe that no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that was a real fear for me. But write it down, because what you hide, it owns you. So either you own it or it gonna own you. And the fact that, like, again, like this was like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, of me realizing, like, girl, I am afraid that, if I level up my success, I'm going to lose it. And, after I journal through that, now I'm like, I can hear, but it doesn't even trigger me on the inside anymore. But like, I can hear myself being like, oh, girl, like, listen, we locked in, we got this. But I had to say it. And this is my first time actually saying it out loud since I did the journaling prompt. But like, I feel good, and I'm being bold. So calculate the step four of this framework is to calculate the cost of waiting. So if nothing changes in your life, where will you be in the next 6 months? If you keep doing what you're doing, how you doing it, the way you're doing it. If you keep doing what you're doing, how you doing it, where are you going to be in the next 6 months? Are you going to still be grinding? Are you still going to be exhausted? Are you still going to be saying, oh, I'll figure it out? I'll figure it out eventually. One thing, I get motivated, and that's what I'm saying. We're supposed to be in community so we can support each other. But I mean, and everybody has their own personality, but you got to use, even though it may not be as palatable, okay, as long as you're using it for good. But like, when I see somebody over here, like, not taking charge, it just made me want to go harder. You know what I'm saying? You got to use that. Like, when I see people over here making excuses, blah, 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 I'm like, I'll throw a little hint, like, okay, but what are you doing? Because we got to move, honey. But if you don't do anything different than you're doing today, if you don't go for the walk, if you don't listen to the financial literacy, if you don't, put down some money and invest in you to prove to yourself that you can succeed at something and take action at your own responsibility, then you're gonna just do what you did last year, or you know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen. So it is totally up to you to finally have structure, to finally have clarity, and to finally have the support to execute in your life, to take action, to help co-create what's in your life. Of course, it's you and God, it's you and Spirit, it's you and the Most High. But you got to be in partnership. You can't just wait. You know what I'm saying? You got to activate the stuff and do it in a way that creates less chaos and less effort. You can do that for yourself. There's so many people are sharing information. It ain't no more information. It's you needing to be activated. I think I need to be talking about that next week. Step 5, choose your next step. Choose your next step. Choose your next step. So I'm going to give you 3 options, right? Because I mean, I grouped everything into 3 options. These are the next steps you can choose. Step number 1, keep doing what you're doing and hope it gets better on its own. Step number 2, try another DIY solution, whether it's a planner, whether it's an app, whether it's a motivational course, whether it's journaling, whether it's you and AI. Or number 3, get real execution infrastructure. Get accountability in your life. Get structure in your life. Get support in your life. Get team. And not just people who work with you, but also get like a network of like business besties, or get in masterminds, people. And you want people to pay the cost that you pay. Like you don't want, I mean, for me, like this, I'm talking big. I'm talking big out here because y'all, I'm not gonna sell it. Whenever it comes out naturally, I'm gonna say it. But the investment that I made in myself this last month, I'm like, ooh, girl, you really believe in yourself. I'm like, girl, you really doing this? Like, okay, here we go. And y'all, since I put that down, I mean, I've just like opened up so much space. I'm waking, like this morning, I woke up at like, I don't know, I didn't get up right away, but I woke up like 4:30 this morning. I'm like, I gotta get the day started, because now I'm like, man, I gotta ROI, honey, ROI. So I think the third option, remember, keep doing what you're doing, do more, do DIY solutions, do it on your own, right? Just watching all this YouTube stuff and not taking action. Or number 3, get real execution infrastructure in your life. I think that the third option is what helps people, and it's actually what my business is about. But this is not to promote my business, because even if you never work with me, I'm still going to be having my same mission, my same movement, my same Like this is what I believe in. This is what I'm on fire about. I mean, of course I may change the messaging and I may see something different out in the world, but like accountability is what I'm about. Structure, execution, take action. That's what I'm about. Be about that action. I'm about that action, honey. And like that's real to me. You know, I used to kind of be like, oh, like I see this person, but it's because they're not, nah. Like I'm not even being cute with it no more. Like, let's get it. Like, where your dog at? Me and T, we be like, you know, you want somebody with that dog, honey. I don't want nobody who's gonna be a martyr. Like, stop self-sacrificing yourself. You can serve, but don't self-sacrifice yourself. Like, stop being a martyr. Like, there's nothing good about being a martyr. So please, like I said, you don't have to work with me, but my message to you is please stop relying on your willpower alone. Like, create structure in your life. And I'm telling you, like, it's not like I'm even being like cheesy or nothing like that. Like, I'm literally telling you the same things that I would tell my clients. The difference is you don't have me as your accountability partner. And you don't have me literally masterminding with you and sharing, like, okay, based on what you're saying. Because sometimes, and that's what I'm saying, that's why I hire coaches, because they tell me stuff that like I know, but they help me like organize it and see things that I can't see yet because they are further along than I. You get what I'm saying? So willpower is not sustainable. Motivation is not sustainable. Okay. And I'm making myself more visible. Look at me. I'm making myself more visible and being more courageous and being more giving. Like, this is me creating, and I'm just being real. Like, I'm not trying to say, I'm really putting things in perspective because I feel like people don't know. Like, people think like, oh yeah, I just want to go viral, or you know, da, da, da. When you actually put structure on what it takes, I mean, you have some people who, you know, they do it and, you know, they did it and shout out to them. But from a business mindset, from what I'm thinking about, when I go viral, it's not going to be because I just was throwing stuff against the wall. It's like when I go viral, my life is going to 10x 100x because I have the structures on the back end to make that viral moment mean something. I'm not going to be just be a famous meme just to be on somebody's phone and known, and nah. When I go viral, it's going to be because I'm actually helping the world, and I'm actually like, you know, and no shade, because we all got to get it how we get it, but I'm like, ooh, like when it's my time, I'm gonna be prepared, and everything will already be prepared and set up. Of course, I'm doing the work while I'm moving along, but I'm not gonna not be prepared when my moment. I'm gonna have a system set up. I'm gonna have my sales team in place. Like, everything is gonna be working, and it's gonna just funnel right on through, and I'm gonna just be in a place to amplify it. Anyways, y'all, I don't know if y'all ready for that conversation. I know everybody on here ain't entrepreneurs, so I don't know if y'all ready for that conversation. Okay, so anyways, next week I do want to talk about the 3 self-sabotage patterns that kill execution. Y'all, I'm about taking action. Be about that action. Stop being about talk. So many people talk. Like, I know I talk, but I am very intentional on what I talk about. I mean, since the beginning of time, I've always been very careful. It's honestly just my character. I'm honestly just talking about character right now. Like, when I talk, I'm saying something intentionally to move people forward. And most of the time it's for their own good. Like, I don't have anything, you know, and a lot of normally 95% of the time it's probably going to piss them off and make them not like me. Oh my gosh, girl, get it together. But it's true, right? And so the whole point of me sharing that, like, it, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna do this right now because it's something that I definitely, and I literally I got like 5 minutes before I gotta hop on this call. So let me just read this. 1 Peter, I was not supposed to do this. If anyone speaks, they should do so as one who speaks the very words of God. And not even from a biblical, because I can go deep on this, but literally speaking, like, to move good in the world, not from hate, not from jealousy, not from ego. I mean, you can have those thoughts with yourself in your journal. Say what you got to say to yourself in your journal, but like, to literally freedom of speech. I've not talked about this before. Like, This is just an example because people are like, oh, you talk a lot. Okay, but I'm on mission, and whoever need to hear me, they I'm here to support them, to help them move forward. I'm not out here just talking about gossip. I'm not out here just like talking about, nonsense, or I'm not no negative Nancy. Like, my intention is very clear. I want to help people be empowered. I want to help people be more powerful, be more bold, be more radiant, be more of themselves. So next week I will be breaking down the three self-sabotaging patterns that kill your execution, from being who you really are, from being about it, from being authentic. Even when you have great intentions, because again, you can be a good person and you can have good, but what about great? What about epic? Okay. And one of the things that I will be sharing with you next week, it is completely invisible to most people. But once you see it, and once you start to like get around people who talk and move like me, like everything began to change. And I'll show you exactly how to spot the sabotage and how to stop it. How to stop it. It's so important that we stop it. Like, not just see the problem, but actually stop the problem, so that we can actually move forward without the constant mental drain. Yeah, we got to work on our energy. We got to work on our focus. There's so many things we got to do. Yeah, we got to get to work. That's why I'm like, energy up. Let's go. Okay. But until then, you get to take care of yourself. You get to take care of yourself. I hope you know you got this. And I will see you next week. See you later.